Because this is now up on YouTube. All
Hey,
of the ones I've recorded. Hi, Kenny.
Hey, Abby.
hey,
Hello.
What's up, Gary?
And here's Elijah. Um,
Kenny, I owe you information. It's on my to-do list. I just haven't gotten to it yet.
No, you're good, brother. That's on your time. That's fine.
I'll share it with the links, I suppose, so I could get that together. Hello, everybody.
How you doing? How's the week been treating you so far? I know it's still tax season until the 15th, right?
April 15th,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and then yeah. So I've got most of my clients are corporations, so um the big push is over. Um yeah, and then I've got just a couple that are April 15th, but one of the ones is like 10 entities on his Schedule C, so
Oh, wow.
that's a lot of stuff. That will be changing next year for him though.
Okay, okay.
Um
Yeah, sounds like a lot of work.
I mean, do you ever do just personal, like individuals, or is it all business?
all business, just because I don't file taxes. So I do everything shy of that. Um, so preparation of financial statements and stuff like that. So no on the, where are you, Elijah? Good Lord, it looks so nice out.
Yeah.
Texas.
Looks like he's oh, never mind. That's a car in the background. I thought that was a boat.
We can imagine that it is a boat, Kenny.
I'm just thinking about
Sorry,
vacation right
sorry
now.
about
That's my
that. Was
fault.
I not on mute that whole time?
You were
Yeah,
muted.
Nat, your mic was out. Yeah.
Oh, thank God. I was like on a call and I was like, I hope they didn't just hear me saying all that stuff.
We didn't.
All
You're,
right,
you're
good.
being given, you've been given grace.
That's good. That's good.
Oh, I don't know. Let's see. We got a message in the Discord. I don't know where everybody is tonight. Caitlin
Oh,
Gomez.
that's yeah, Caitlin.
Uh, Caitlin, that is the wrong link. It's not working on my end. I've been clicking the access link.
I didn't go through Eventbrite. I just hit the Zoom link.
Yep.
She's probably trying to go through Eventbrite.
Yeah, yeah. Initially when I was pulling it up on Eventbrite, it said the event had ended, so I just used the like the Zoom code.
Oh,
Yeah.
okie dokie. Well, sometimes God works in mysterious ways. Elijah and I were talking last week. I was just like a little bit fried from all the things and interesting. Okay,
Hey,
so Robert wanted to join too, and I was like, if you I was telling Gary, like if you can't find the link, then I guess I'm gonna send an email out real quick.
Oh, hey, Elijah, thanks for that workbook. That is awesome. I've started working my way through it.
nice, nice. I honestly figured you would, which is what made me like put it in there because it's like, sometimes people ask for like resources and then like they kind of just don't do anything with them. And I was like, Gary is definitely going to use this resource, and an article is just not going to be enough. So let me go into my library, grab the workbook, send it to him because I feel like he's going to. I like, they're like it's a three-part workbook, and like the first two are kind of like fluff, and then the third one is like all the meat and potatoes in one place. So I was like,
Yeah,
let's get away from the fluff ones. Let's let him get some good stuff. So yeah, it's pretty awesome.
nice.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I appreciate it, and it's been an education. Uh, the whole market dominating thing. I went to Arba's presentation, was it yesterday? That was interesting too. All about market dominating factors.
Oh yeah. Dude, I think I didn't get a chance to take a look at it, but I do know that term. I was gonna say it's kind of cool, right? Because even though you could be in the same industry, you can literally carve out your niche by focusing on that thing that does make you unique, right? And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
kind of using that to monopolize your kind of piece of the pie in terms of the market. Is
Yeah, I think Arba got it from the same place I got it from, Jarvis, right? So there's this coaching group called the Focus Group, and they all use the same exact 52 weeks of training lessons for having a seven-figure business called Profit Acceleration. So
Hmm.
there's like a bunch of us who've actually gone through his program. So I just took it, put it into our back office, and then added it like part of our fulfillment. So like you're probably hearing the same concepts over and over again, but sometimes repetition is the mother of all learning. But it's rather evergreen. The data has been tested on like 50,000 businesses with over 1,000 coaches. So it's pretty good stuff.
Nice. Yeah, nice.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, Caitlin,
Hey,
Nate, what's up?
Not sure what happened with the link. Sometimes I was saying before it's God working in mysterious ways. Uh, I have these recordings up on YouTube. So actually, this is actually kind of like the core group here. So if you guys could send me your links, I can put in the show notes on YouTube and Spotify. That would be great. And I guess I've already got a couple views on them, so that's kind of exciting. Just I don't know. Um, so what else? What other announcements do I have? I posted the fall retreat. Gary saw that earlier, and I am looking for a couple speakers if anybody's interested. Um, so just like 1 hour sessions. It's a Friday to Sunday event. Just in the very early stages. Really, really just looking to add a couple speakers right now. But so if anybody wants to do that, and Kenny and Gary were attendees last year, so and I think it made some impact.
We had a
So
pretty good time. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. It was still a very major turning point for what I was doing. Do you have
100%.
a do you have a theme of what type of speakers you're looking for?
I don't. I like to have diversity, really. So, um, just looking for someone that kind of sparks my intrigue. And I'd like to do something a little bit different than last year, although I'll probably do some kind of yoga and breath work again. Um, just as I so strongly believe in the breath work as a major transformational tool. Um, it just does something where, drops your walls and opens your imagination up to possibility. Can
Mm,
really make some changes.
yeah, I can relate
Um,
to that. I still, like I said, during the week, I still take some time to, just realign myself, readjust, um, breathe. So speaking of that, if you can get Megan back to the event, that would be awesome. See if she could,
I I
work
actually
with the
ran
group.
into Megan earlier today at Lowe's, which is funny because I live like 45 minutes from Lowe's. So I was in there buying a new vacuum cleaner and a new kitchen faucet, and I turned my head and I saw her. I haven't seen her in probably 6 months just because it's winter and we're hibernating around here. So yes, that can probably be arranged.
Cool.
You said
Yeah.
it's winter right now?
Well, I got 10 inches of snow on Sunday.
Oh my goodness, I'm
It's,
afraid for you.
Holy smokes.
it's gone now. It was 60 degrees out today, so it's gone, but yeah,
Uh,
technically it's spring, but also I don't know, it does what it wants around here in the Western Main foothills.
Mother Nature at its finest.
yeah,
Is
we're
this
kind
okay?
of.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry. Go ahead.
no, no, I was gonna say we're kind of in that bipolar phase with the weather. It's like some days nice, it's still gonna have a couple of cold ones, like 20, 25.
Yeah.
We
actually.
typically have snow on the ground still, but this year, I mean, I'm walking around in one of my lower fields right now. Grass is growing. I'm gonna have to get the mower out soon.
Gary, I'm jealous. The bluebird skies. I got a new camera, so
Nice.
yeah,
In it.
it's, I can show you. Actually, we can go for a little journey here to my window. Can you see out
A
Yeah.
little bit.
there? This is probably not good for the YouTube thing, but here we go. Anyway,
I was gonna ask, is the event virtual or is it in person?
virtual. Yeah. I probably will do in person at some point, but I'm still just building, building the email list, building all of that. And it is, I would like to do it here at some point. So I've got 3.5 acres and 7 bedroom house. So it would be a lot of fun to do here.
Oh yeah.
Uh, but
Sounds like
I
everybody would get their own room.
Hmm.
everybody would, especially there would probably be like a VIP opportunity and then definitely like a camping rough it opportunity, which, is not for everyone. Elijah and I have talked a little bit about that, but also it's character building. So sometimes it's good for you to have a little dirt on your hands and stuff
Are you
like
not a rough it kind of girl?
me.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a rough it kind of girl for sure.
Yeah.
I'm the one that likes to keep the nails clean. So when we were
Uh,
talking about you have to switch the roles. So
Yeah.
yes, we were
No,
talking about our last retreat.
I definitely feel that. But that being
Kenny,
said,
you're
I
getting
kind of
you're
do want to
getting
try
the
the
dirt
log
and the
splitting.
nails treatment.
Yeah, I do want to do the log splitting for sure. Kind of set up a
Yeah.
tent, do the whole thing.
Yeah, we when we do our retreat, we try to do yachts and just you
Don't
know.
get
Hey,
me wrong, you all have seen how I
that
travel, and
sounds good
there's
too.
definitely that kind of vibe going on too. But
Yeah, no, it's funny. No, we were in Tulum and it was so it was like not super grungy, but it was a little grungy for a couple of people, a couple of weird smells, a couple of animals they'd never seen before. A tarantula here, a scorpion there, like that type of stuff. Um, so there were people who were like, "Yeah, I love the retreat, but we're never going there again." They're like, "You'd have to pick a completely different location." Like, and I was like, "Wow, I didn't think it was that bad." They were like, and I prepared them ahead of time. I was like, "Hey, we're not in the first world, and they had the right expectations, so they were happy while they were there. But when they came back, they were like, my only issue was the tarantula in my bathroom." Like, I was like, "Fair, that's fair."
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think
just
that's one of the reasons I can't visit Australia, man.
No.
uh,
We've got stuff you don't even know how to name.
it
That's
looks
right.
like people received my email with the link just to bring you all in. I'm adding people to the call just to warn you all. So welcome to everybody who's just getting here. Sorry about the link tonight too. I'm not sure what the deal is, but I appreciate you all hanging around and coming late. Um, we kind of got started, but it was kind of the regulars. So if anybody will give it the official launch, if someone would like to kick us off with intros, who you are, where you're from, and what you do. Yeah.
sure. So I'm Gary Darley. I am a financial coach and I work with folks with a loose set of accounts who need to put themselves into a better situation through a tiered savings system. So you've got money in your now bucket while preparing for your tomorrow bucket. And you guys are getting me in the outside today. I'm wandering around our little farm. So
Gary just had baby sheep born.
yeah,
So we were talking about roughing it versus the luxury lifestyle. Gary, I'm sure you can do both if you've got baby livestock.
I actually don't.
Anyway, who would
Well,
like to go next?
I can definitely go next. Good evening, everybody. Nice to see familiar faces and some new ones. My name is Kenny, and my company is Atlas Studios. And so we specialize in primarily three things, that being marketing, branding, and development. both on the practical side as well as the digital side. So it's my job to work with entrepreneurs who have a growth mindset, looking to either improve upon, expand, or build something new that complements their business. So essentially, if you can imagine it, we'll do the rest.
Who would like to go next?
I'll go. I am Kaylin Rodriguez, also the other Rodriguez in this group. I am a business owner. So I've been in the business for 7 years. I run a financial agency, and what primarily focuses on education, awareness. So, really corny, that's about me. I like to say we're teaching people and folks how to screw the IRS, screw Wall Street, and screw the lenders by just giving people the concepts that have been taught in school. So much more clarity and mind for that GPS, right? Grow, protect, and saving their money. So that's a little bit about me, and I am stationed in Orlando, Florida.
This seems so silly, but I just, after a year of knowing the two of you, realized that your last names are the same.
That's why I call him Primo.
Yeah,
I know. I'm putting
he's
it
my
all
cousin.
together like it's my first day on Earth here. So okay. I'm ashamed of it, but there it is. Who would like to go next?
I'll go ahead. I'm not their cousin, but I am also in the financial space. My name is Andrew Henderson. For those of you that don't know, I think this is my first time on this group. But essentially, what I do is I help people make more money and keep more of what they earn through tax advantage strategies. I specialize in working with people in the real estate industry and entrepreneurs, but I work with all individuals, and I'm really looking here to just connect with people and have conversations.
Welcome. Feel free to drop your links in the chat also. Um, and where are you based out of, Andrew?
Sorry, I navigated to another tab for a second there.
You're
I am in
fine.
the Chicago area.
Chicago. All right, cool. Well, welcome. We're glad to have you.
Thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. Who would like to go next?
I can go next.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tiffany Barksdale. I am the founder and CEO of a company called Dear Sugar. So what we do is we are a zero sugar and gluten-free snack and beverage business for type 1 diabetic kids, children and youth, with or without celiac disease, right? So they have type 1 diabetes, but some of them have celiac and some of them do not. So what I do is I make sure their snacking moments are still safe, fun and joyous, and the parents can have a peace of mind, which I'm living right now because my youngest one is a type 1 diabetic with celiac. So it's difficult. So if it's difficult for me with a medical background, it's difficult for other parents who do not have a medical background. So we make sure those moments are still joyous and these kids still have an opportunity to be kids because it's not their fault of this condition. So that's what I do.
Where are you from, Tiffany?
I am from the Bronx, New York.
I knew it, your accent.
What
It
accent?
gave
Everyone
you
says
away.
this.
What accent?
Every time
I
I
knew
talk,
it was
everyone says
somewhere.
that.
Yep. Oh
Speaking my
gosh.
language, Tiffany. Nice to have you here.
I know that's
Yep.
right.
You're not alone. That's how
Yeah.
I knew. You are not alone. All right, who is next? I will call on somebody.
I can, if I may.
Yes, go for
Okay.
it.
Hello, my name is Quitem, and I'm from Kosovo. I don't know if you're here about Kosovo. So I'm software engineer for almost 8 years, and now I'm using my knowledge to build something for myself. So I'm almost finishing my app, which is related with crypto and finance industry, which is a fintech one, and I'm joining on a event so to find a partnership or a co-founder so to continue on building that app. So
Awesome. Welcome. All right, who's next? Jackie, can I call on you? Who you are, where you're from, and what you do?
Oh, sure. Hi. And
Cool.
thank you for sending me a new link. I was like, I feel really silly. Like, what am I doing wrong here?
You are not wrong. Everybody else, there were a few people who I use the same recurring link every week just while we're on this subject. So if you would like to
Hmm.
return, it'll be the same Zoom link forevermore. But something
Okay,
went
cool.
awry. So you are not alone.
Okay, well, thank you. So yes, my name is Jackie. I am a massage therapist, have been for about 12 years working in the wellness industry. I have been working for a company and managing a company locally. I'm in Lakewood, Colorado, and I have started my own practice. So I am kind of shifting and getting into the like sort of more business mind of it, taking from what I've learned of what to do, what not to do, and just looking to kind of network and learn and grow at this point, being a new small business owner.
Awesome. Glad to have you here. I find this to be a pretty fun space for developing like that. I am biased,
Awesome.
but what time will tell for you. Who would like to go next?
I'll go.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. My name is Elijah Cheeks. I am the founder of CBR Capital. And what we do is we help business owners scale without risking their assets or their revenue or even draining their 401ks. What we do instead is we coach them on how to use business credit and business lines of credit. So the bank can be up late at night if business isn't doing well. So if you are or you know someone who wants to scale, we have a program where we'll help them get six figures in funding in 90 days or coach them for free until they do. And some of our students are currently buying businesses this week because of the funding that they got, and that's their way of scaling, buying other companies in the same industry. So if that interests you at all, you can go to elijahcheeks.com. I'll talk to you one on one about it and either give you a resource or help you out, So I'll put my information in the chat.
Welcome back. The sun is, I'm envious of your location right now.
You're going to be real envious in about 60 days when we're in Costa Rica. I just put the retreat information in the chat. So I'll still come in though. I'll do my Zoom. I'll pop in from the place and make you nice and jealous. I'll have like a nice view of the beach for you. 100%. I got your back.
Cool. Those are the envy vibes, but at the same time, I'll be in Rome, so we'll just
That's
bring
true.
all the envy in, but we'll raise the vibration through our exotic locations. So
Exactly.
stay tuned. Carlos, are you in a good position to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I am. My fault. I thought when I didn't get the link, I thought it was, it was over. So I said, all right. And then you sent me the new one. So I was like, I guess I'll leave. But how y'all doing? I'm Carlos Henry. I'm actually a motivational speaker, but I have a leadership development company. So I work with middle school students to about like college students, developing them like leadership skills in order to enter into the workforce or start their own business. So I do like a 8 week like leadership lab that I do with them. So I usually work with different schools, nonprofits, and people that want to coach that put their children through like entrepreneur type of skills like selling, how to lead your own team, and things of that nature. And then also, I guess I also run eight.
Oh no. Carlos, we lost you.
And so close. No,
We
that's just
lost you
about me
there
though.
for a second.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, we lost you.
Oh,
Does someone have a good point where we lost him? You were transitioning to, you were talking about your mentorship and then you'd moved on, but we lost you
oh
right
my,
then.
my apologies. I said that I'm based out of Philly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I was like, I heard somebody said it was from New York, and I heard the accent, and I was like, dang, that John's strong. But yeah, that's like a little bit. That's like a couple hours away though. So yeah, it's nice to meet everybody.
Carlos, nice to meet you. And you're going to have to connect with Nate, who's going to introduce himself next because you guys are in similar verticals in life and also areas in the world. So, Nate, drum roll.
What's up, everybody? My name is Nate Dubois. I'm from New Jersey, and I'm the founder of Legend Initiative. We help brands transcend culture through strategy, storytelling, and brand relations. So, if you want to become a legend and lead your industry, we're the team that you work with.
Nate works with kids too, mentoring and inspiring the
And
next gen.
mentoring, bullying a little bit.
Amazing. Already, I'm excited. All right, I'm Abigail, your host, remote CFO and full charge accountant, and founder of the Business Kickstart Accelerator, which is a community platform where I am sharing financial, not planning, but like business accounting knowledge and encouraging a community to come together. Um, Regarding this group, so it's the same link every week, 7 p.m. Eastern. So if you're in here now, you can use the same link to return. If you follow me on Eventbrite, I posted my fall virtual retreats. It's all online. It's kind of 2.5 days of motivation, inspiration, business development stuff. Um, in the month of March, we've been talking about workflows here, and I wanted to talk about workflows that promote scaling your business and kind of see what everybody's thoughts were and what you've implemented, what you need to implement, and any other thoughts. If you want some feedback, this group is definitely a good place to start with that too. Anyone want to go first?
I would like to go first.
Yeah.
So, hi again, I'm Tiffany. I'm the one with that's helping the type 1 diabetics in their snacking moments. Um, so in everything that I know, I struggle with this whole get on Instagram to reach people thing, right? So if I had to talk to doctors, I'm great at that. I have my background, I have this. Now, how do you do this Instagram thing? Because I know you're supposed to have a business page and you have to reach these people, and how do y'all show up on Instagram, on social media? That's what my question is. How do y'all show up on social media?
Nate?
I suppose I wasn't trying to answer that question, but I suppose I guess I have to. Um, um, it kind of depends on first you gotta identify how you want to show up in general. Like what are your values? What are like basically what's your personal brand or your company's brand and how do y'all want like what type of conversation do y'all want to be a part of? Once you get that nailed down, then you can start saying, okay, I want to show up like this type of conversation I want to have concerning diabetic children. Then you just kind of plan out content in a sense that basically relates to that type of narrative that you want to display. And then you just record content, post it, see how it does, evaluate, then keep going. And
Thank
I'll let
you.
Kenneth answer the question as well before I ask my question.
No, yeah, I got you. So I was just gonna kind of expand on what my guy Nate was saying. So typically, I think you just want to assess what your core philosophy is, right? Like, what is the, if you had to break it down in one sentence, like, what would you want people to know, right? And then crafting that brand style, that brand voice around that, right? So let's say your main message is, you know, promoting health for type 1 diabetic children, right? Um, so the first thing that I would recommend is, catering to that child audience, right? Because a lot of users on Instagram are around, 12, 13, 14. Um, so I would say craft your content in a way that would relate to them, right? So what are they into, right? Obviously they play Fortnite, right? They're into sports, right? Things like that. They're active. Um, so if you could, or maybe use your own, your own son, your own kids to make content as well, just to show them somebody that they could relate to, right? And show them like eating a snack or like playing in the park and like look at the difference that eating your products makes in their lives. you know. So I think that's kind of what Nate was talking about, is that that's what you want to display, right? And if that's part of your core message and it resonates with your audience, then that lets you know, like, hey, this is what's working.
That is
Thank
so
you.
good.
Thank you so much. For no, I do use my Tory role as the guinea pig a lot. So yes.
There you go. You got it.
There you go. I was gonna say, yeah, I was very similar to what Nate and what Kenny said too. Is like it's like really finding your niche. But if you really want to be, for me, I'm very transparent on my social media because I want to just not just bring out my brand, but I'm also bringing out my lifestyle. So I feel like when it comes to promoting yourself out in your business, like definitely like doing what Kenny says, put out your own story. But maybe it could also be you recording, you packaging. People love that. Like when you're seeing that, like the back end of the process, like I'm doing this for a family of four who needs my product, you know, and putting like a little like voice note, because people do love to hear like people speaking on these things, and especially that what you're doing, it's a powerful story because that's an immediate like hook, like, hey, are you struggling with your health right now? And then boom, product, you know? So I think that once you start doing that, you start posting more. And I've been speaking to a content creator, and he's like, honestly, Kate, I just do it every day. And I'm like, how do you do it with a 9 to 5 and you always doing something? He's like, honestly, I just find the time to do it. So it's really committing to like posting every single day, posting on social media, putting yourself out there and being okay with the results. So if you're seeing that you're getting like 10 people in the room, that's okay. That's perfectly fine. Like I think that people really overthink on social media, like, oh, I only got 10 views. No, it's like this in this room. We only got like 10, well, we have 11 people in this room, right? But this makes a huge difference. So it's like always like staying in the big, that the views don't matter, and just be consistent. And then eventually I think a great tactic would probably be like messaging these doctors and maybe doing like a live. You can get a lot of traction with like living with someone else and people start following you from there. That's my point.
Thank you so much. I actually never thought about that. Thank you.
Carlos.
Yeah, I was gonna say, with social media, to be honest with you, I just be having fun with it. So I like what someone was saying about, making sure that, I'm sorry when I said someone, I'm driving, so I'm not trying. But when I like what someone was saying about when they were saying, show kind of like a little bit of what's going on in the background. I do that a lot too as well. With I might just show, even though I'm a lot of motivation, leadership tactics. Sometimes I'll have like I got a videographer come out support me speaking at schools, so I get some high quality content. But then he will also get stuff. I'll just record myself doing things like I like to work out too, so I'll work out, and then it'll just be me working out. But then it'll be like read the caption below, and then the caption will talk about some leadership skill, or it'll show me like I like to also kind of get fly too, so or get dressed up. So you might see me throw on some, a nice little outfit and just me smiling and looking at the picture, traveling, and then again it'll be like read the caption, and then the caption would be me just talking about some leadership skill too. So I'd say to just have fun and just be yourself, but most importantly, be consistent. And then eventually you're going to just, it's going to be natural after that, to be honest.
Thank you.
Gary.
So I'd ask the question, who is going to be the paying customer? And you might want to target your marketing towards them. So it may not be children, it may be parents, and thinking about where parents hang out and what might attract a parent to the product. And that might be doing some type of live events where you actually develop a relationship with a doctor who you can interview and talk to about it. But you might want to think about who exactly is the market that you're targeting to actually buy your product. And it's most likely going to be parents rather than kids.
I'm going to share something. Um, so hopefully you learn from my mistakes. Posting consistently has been a struggle for me. I go on these highs and I post like a ton, and then I end up scrolling too much and I lose all creativity and motivation. And am like just discouraged by the world and I can't post anymore. And I just like am like, what am I even doing? This is worthless. So post, don't scroll. So one of the things I'm working on this week actually is like eliminating the apps from my phone altogether and using a post scheduler so that I don't get caught up scrolling. 'Cause every time I get caught up scrolling, I end up losing all inspiration because my feed is full of really negative, the world is going to end tomorrow stuff. So I would recommend that. And then when I was posting, honestly, 3 times a day, just about whatever, mostly like what I'm doing throughout the day, just posting 3 times a day didn't really, quality wasn't like the top priority, but visibility was. And I had like over 40,000 new views on my account in a 15-day period. And as soon as I stopped posting 3 times a day, that went down to almost nothing. So post a lot, post a lot. And then once you start doing that and you can see like what content is getting a lot of views and what content isn't, I went to my chat GPT and I said, help me figure out what my viral formula is. And it helped me really narrow down what content was working better than others so I could focus on that. Although I ended up scrolling and not posting as much, but again, trying to get away from that. But that's what I would suggest.
Thank you
Um,
so much. I appreciate it from
of
everyone. Thank you.
course. I think that's also like on the line of scalability, like utilizing a tool that will help you post without scrolling, like is that exponential payback situation. Nate.
I just also wanted to um, actually ask a question. Why do you want to use Instagram as well? Like, I think for Instagram is more so a young person's thing in a sense, in terms of users, right? If you think about posting on, let's see, threads, especially for what you do, threads, Twitter, Facebook, you're going to get that older demographic that Gary was talking about in terms of the ones with kids, the one that are struggling with diabetes, the ones that kind of are going to buy this stuff for the children. So it's always important to ask, like, why am I using this, focusing on this platform? And is my audience really on this platform? So once you nail down your audience, also just consider that question.
Makes sense. Thank you. Because I do Facebook as well. Threads, don't really know what that is. I've seen it, don't know what it is. And Twitter, never used it before. But now that you said that, I'm going to definitely be versed and learn about it. Thank you.
Gary.
So two things. First comment. I actually used ChatGPT to help me narrow down where my target audience was, which platforms to go after, and that was pretty helpful instead of spinning my wheels and kind of shooting it in the dark. So that might be something to try. And then my question for the group, especially for the users who've successfully used social media, do you have tools that you use to help capture what's working, what's not working, what in your post is generating the information, the the interests? What kind of tools do you use to track and refine?
I just use my dashboard on my platform. Uh, I'm sure there are third party apps too. Kenny.
So I kind of want to expand on both Nate and Gary's point. So just regarding parents, right? And being on multiple platforms at the same time. I do think that there is a way to kind of nuance and kind of find that balance between both Instagram and Facebook, right? Because if Instagram caters to a younger audience, you can also adjust your content to kind of resonate with them a bit more. Whereas on Facebook, if you are targeting those parents, you can kind of change the tone just a little bit, right? to kind of fit that image that, the mom would represent of, hey, I'm looking for healthier options for my kids. Whereas for kids, it's like, hey, this is fun. You can eat a bag of chips, but it's healthier than a regular bag. Um, and it'll help you play sports better, just for example.
Nate.
To answer your question, Gary, I don't think me and Kenny might be the best ones because I'm pretty sure we use software that's built for agencies in terms of monitoring. But some like solo creator ones, later is a good one. Um, and then also, I guess Instagram, like it depends on like the type of level of reporting that you actually want. Um, and I think on a previous call, I mentioned like talk to the actual developer or whoever's in charge of sales. They'll get you a free demo so you can try out everything. But it really just goes on how deep you want the reporting. Like, do you want what time are they watching your stuff? When do they like it? Do they share it? Who do they share it to? What type of business owner are like if you want that deep, then I'll suggest like Math Social or but that's also for an agency. I don't know which one for like a solo creator. Because I also know that you probably don't need all the features. So just test it out, talk to developers, get some free trials going. And yeah.
I appreciate that. I'm going to be targeting LinkedIn and YouTube, the two that seem to be where my audience is. So,
I've also considered, I've got two different things going on now too. So I've got the one-on-one accounting work and then um I've got the community platform. So it's kind of why I've had like a preemptive burnout situation going on with socials because I now have to have basically two profiles on a handful of platforms and what platforms are important to me or what platforms do I think are going to get which message out better. Um, and where do I want to focus my marketing and who's my target audience? So like there's a lot of things to consider about where you are and how you show up there. So for example, the accounting realm, because I primarily focus on cannabis, I'm on Instagram. That's where my community is. And like I personally don't connect well with LinkedIn. And my community is there a little bit, but I have more organic engagement on Instagram for that. But then when it comes to the Kickstart Accelerator, my plan of attack right now is TikTok, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So I'm looking for a social media platform, like a post platform that can handle TikTok and LinkedIn in the same attempt, which I think I just picked one. I had Gemini AI help me and they suggested Buffer. It's free, can handle LinkedIn and TikTok in the same. My goal is to just get the apps off my phone so I stop doom scrolling and see, the apocalypse nearing. I can't post through that kind of mental warfare. Kenny,
Yeah, I was gonna say, another platform that you should probably look at is Content Studio. It actually has exactly what you're talking about, right? Like you can link your Instagram, right, your Facebook, and you can literally make a post, choose which accounts you want to post it to, and kind of keep track of the analytics, right? Like Nate was saying, who's clicking, who's bouncing, right? Who's following based off of that post, and so on and so forth. So it's pretty comprehensive.
I'm also implementing ManyChat for like generating conversations. And you can't do it, I learned today, like I would love to have it, initiate a conversation for new followers, especially on my accounting version platform, because I think that would be a great way to capture leads like as soon as they come in. Um, but there are other ways for it to engage in communication for you or get conversations started. So like for me, as far as scalability goes, it's about me having to put out as minimal output as possible, especially where you know, I'm not the most outgoing social person, and I host a community like this, and I host other communities. So like being really mindful of my social battery is important. And if I'm on social media, putting too much energy out there, and then I have to come on here and I'm drained already, like I have to be very mindful where I'm putting my energy. So having a virtual assistant help me implement these platforms, having somebody else manage my email marketing, like just kind of outsourcing these other tasks is a huge help. So, that's my thoughts.
So I have an interesting thought if we're going down the delegation road, because that's one that I visit very often. I am not great, admittedly, with social. I don't have any of the apps except for LinkedIn on my phone. So everything that is managed through a tech on my team, who has taken frameworks from other social media experts, so to speak, that have like phrasing like how to make their content. And then I have him took all of my videos from like my masterminds, my coaching meetings, and took those transcripts and put them into AI to focus on three specific topics like Nate talked about, and had it imagine my ideal avatar and act like it was talking only to that one topic. And then I just have like a drop folder in my phone because I don't take a ton of pictures, but my wife loves to. So every time we're out, and she's like, "Can you take a picture of me?" I was like, "Only if you do want to be," you know. So that's where all of my pictures exist. And then I just tell my tech, "Hey, put whatever picture, relevant or not, take whatever copy, relevant or not." And then I spend like an hour every single week just going through the copy that he's generated through AI and make it sound more like me. Maybe change a CTA here, maybe actually delete the words CTA that are actually in it, and then I just let it rock, and it's like, scheduled out for the next couple of months, and I kind of set it and forget it. And my intention's different. I don't look at social media as an opportunity to close a sale or to get new clients. I look at it as an opportunity to, after someone talks to me or before they're scheduled with me, when they Google me, what they'll see. And that's what I find usually has the most effect is like they're already deciding to like be somewhere close to the fire of a conversation. And they're like, oh, let me look this guy up. And when they look me up, it looks pretty clean and intentional. And so that's me, but I'm not like the guru of social media. I'm no Nate Dubois, but I definitely like lean into delegation because I stopped using social media in 2020 just because I felt like that was just a really messy social media year, and I just didn't feel good about. And then like the actual Netflix special, the social dilemma came out, and I watched that, and it like terrified me. So I deleted all the apps, and I haven't like gotten them back since. So I do think being intentional matters. I do think at scale delegation matters, but there's a way to do it where you're not sounding or looking like a robot and intervening enough to make it still you and authentic. So those are my thoughts based off of what Abigail was saying.
Yeah, I want to jump on that real quick. I'll give you to you, Nate, too. I think that being completely transparent can just win over a lot of people, you know, like being vulnerable. Like people think that like, oh, being vulnerable is like weakness. It really isn't. Because people like there's different categories in like in like in the industry. And I have my notes on it. I've done a lot of podcasts and trying to understand it. But one of it is like being relatable. People are like same. Like I really want to I'm not alone here. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm the same way. I like same as you, Abby. I feel like I'm so good at this thing, but sometimes I get so caught up in my own emotions and I'm letting my emotions dictate my actions sometimes. I don't know if anyone else can relate, right? And I felt this thing inside me yesterday. I was like, you know what? I haven't posted my face on my Instagram, my story in like 2 months. And I allowed this excuse of like, I haven't been feeling well, I'm not my best, I'm having these chest pains. And I kid you not, I just like putting myself out there and I was like, I'm gonna talk about what's going on right now in my season. And I had over like 200 reviews and I had people commenting and replying to it. And I'm like, man, I gotta stop thinking too much. So be as transparent as you want. This is your thing.
I agree with that. Nate,
To go off of what Elijah and Caitlin are kind of saying, um, this is a little bit of insight to social media. Social media is closer to journalism and PR than it is to marketing. I know people like to lump in social media to marketing, but completely different departments in any organization, most organizations. Organizations I work with, let me not put it. But social media is very close to journalism, right? So when you think of journalists and you think of who they interview, think of, take this approach, right? Act as if you're interviewing yourself. What questions would you want to ask yourself? What do you have going on? What type of impact are you having in the community? Like all these different things. And then usually your social media just builds off of that. And you can try that approach. Obviously, it's going to be for different audiences, but you can try it on LinkedIn, Twitter, Threads, Instagram, Facebook. Just find where your tribe is, but take that journalistic approach will be a lot better than trying to sell something.
I like that a lot. I don't like to show up socials trying to sell what I do. For one, I think that other people see what I do as very boring. And people usually tell me that. Like that, oh, I hate accounting or whatever it is. But sometimes I have crazy stories to tell. Like really crazy things. And I was just, a post I need to do this week is I called up a client I started working with in July or August this past year, and she had mailed me a bunch of cash receipts, and I'm entering them all, and I'm like, Jesus, like there's like $400,000 in cash flower cannabis product purchases, and I'm like looking at the books, I'm like, she's only done 300,000 in sales. So I called her one day, I'm like, Robin, either you're stealing from your business and stuff's going out the back, or somebody's stealing from you. Well, I'm not stealing. I'm not doing anything out the back door. I'm like, do you have cameras? Like, there's a significant amount of theft going on. And like, for me to be able to see something like that has to be big numbers. Like, I'm not gonna notice like an eighth of weed here and there. Like, I'm noticing like pounds like every day type of numbers. So like what I'm getting at is like the journalism, the story, like that's something interesting about what I do. And it's not something every day that I discover, but it's like, oh, that's noteworthy. And people might actually be interested to hear about that. And not that it's going to sell what I do, but it very easily could at the same time, like, oh my gosh, I'm not just looking at, just data crunching and putting numbers in. Like I'm seeing some things that are really weird. And maybe this girl can help me see if somebody's stealing from me or I have these suspicions. And the woman ultimately sold her business, and two of the three of her employees were stealing large quantities on a very regular basis going out the break room door. So I got the affirmation of that over this past weekend. So just an interesting, fun for me as a third party. But anyway, Andrew,
Yeah, well, I think that's a great point, obviously, about not selling on social media, and really also kind of taking more of an approach where you're building relationships with people and showing value. And so I think for me that's one of the most important parts, um, just in terms of telling a story or making, a like having an example that you can have to tell people, right? That like in your situation, you realized what a problem that was going on and you were able to solve it, point it out. And that's huge for people because it provides value that you could provide for them rather than coming on a sales approach. And then I think for all of us who have our own, business or line of work, obviously we would love referrals. And I think that's the best way to go about getting them is to have examples of the value that you can provide because you can really save someone a lot of money or a lot of pain or a lot of whatever it is depending on the business. And so I thought that was a really good example of just the power of an example and a story and what that can do to shift people's mind and think of you in a more positive light.
I'm totally seeing some kind of a true crime post series about this. The introduction, the cliffhanger, the follow up.
I'm terrible with the cliffhangers, but people do seem to love that. Like when you start the video somewhere in the middle of the story or like at the end. I watched a little mini course thing on that, and that's not low effort content, Gary. That is high effort.
No, but
That's that's for the Kennys and the Nates to be producing.
it's what seems to hook people is that
It
that
is.
question, that curiosity piece. Just because there's so much information and crap coming at you that you need something that piques the curiosity. And I could totally see, true crime reporting heavy with the cliffhanger and then the
I've
conclusion.
seen some stuff, man. If you've seen some of my social media when I was on that high, there are some really crazy stories I was telling. Nate, were you gonna share something? Did you?
I was just making a
Yeah, it's like
comment.
a movie. Yeah, exactly. This God, I can't remember her name right now. Um she's gone viral. Her name starts with an A. She did like a little mini course. She's a kind of a comedian. She does pranks on her husband and her friends and stuff. Um she had an interesting little mini course on starting at the end, basically, is how you generate like viral content.
Cody
Um,
Sanchez, the Big Deal podcast, actually just did a whole podcast about cliffhangers and questions that generates interest and piques interest.
Yeah, it's kind of like so in journalism, it's called an inverted pyramid. You start with the juiciest part first, and then you go down to like the who, what, when, where, why. But you kind of start with a headline, something that's going to make you click on an article or stop in the newspaper back in the day. Newspapers don't exist anymore. Uh, but is like the headline, which would essentially be, if we're going to use Abigail, you've just been robbed, like something like that, and then like you can do like actually, Abigail, how about this? You've just been robbed, and then you have like you writing something, but it's going in reverse until you get to the beginning of you looking at the books, and then you address like stuff like that. It's like a movie in a sense. Like sometimes movies start at the end, and like now people are enticed to watch the whole video, which improves views, and most platforms focus on duration on that post. So how long is the view? Not just getting a lot of views, but how long is the view?
that's the thing right there, because especially with social media, like you've got like 1 second to get somebody's attention, so you have to start with the juice. And I always notice, like when I'm watching a movie, if it doesn't start with like, what is the scandal here, then I'm on my phone the whole time, not paying any attention.
It has to
But if it,
start action packed.
yeah, yeah, if it starts with the action, I'm invested now, and I'm like paying attention.
Abigail, you can do like a Liam Nielsen, like you running, somebody saying, "You've just been robbed."
Your employees
Yeah.
are robbing you, but your accountant knew 6 months ago. Thanks, bye. That's my post.
Yeah, I could hear like
Tiffany.
a deep narrator in the background.
God, yeah, I will work on that. Follow me on Instagram for this week's scandalous story. It'll be going out tomorrow.
Gotta have a deep bass heartbeat going on in the background.
That's nice, that dramatic effect.
It'll probably be a wood chopping video though. So,
Yeah, that's good too.
Tiffany, would you like to share something?
Yes, I just have to say that I agree with every single one of you because although I'm not an expert in social media. I have tested out my own hook in person, and not that I was trying to, but it was just so fascinating. I always start with like, guess how I almost got arrested trying to save my daughter's life? And then they'll be like, what do you mean? What do you mean arrested? And then I'll go into the full story, and then they'll be like, see, can't judge a book by its cover type of thing. So it works. So now that it works in real life, like verbally, I'm definitely gonna try it on the whole social media thing.
What's your Instagram? I want to hear this story
Yeah, time
as soon
out.
as you
Let's
posted it.
let's get the story going.
Yeah, where's the
We
link?
need it. Let's go, Tiffany. We're on.
Okay, so I'm gonna give y'all the short version.
No, no, no.
No,
No.
okay, okay, so I have a medical background. So my daughter was diagnosed with type 1 during COVID, and I noticed signs. And as a mother and or father, you get these inklings where you know something is wrong. So I took her to the doctor. I did a walk-in. It was a Friday. Her doctor, what I thought was not there because her doctor doesn't normally work on Fridays. So they sit me down with some other guy who I guess was filling in. And he goes to tell me that my daughter is not a diabetic and that she's just unhappy because she's bedwetting. So, of course, I felt some type of way because I knew what I was talking about. He then goes to further tell me because I was only an EMT and I didn't go to medical school that I didn't know what I was talking about. It was 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so they were leaving. I refused to leave. So they called the cops on me. NYPD shows up, and not knowing that I was also law enforcement, NYPD show up and I took out my badge as well. That's how I almost got arrested, but they didn't know I was medical and law enforcement. So yes, I almost got arrested trying to save my own daughter. Lo and behold, her doctor was there in the office that day. Why? I have no idea. That's by the grace of God. I'm not going to question it. And her doctor heard the commotion because I was not, now it's 5 o'clock and I'm not leaving the clinic. Now you have to arrest me to get me out because I knew something was wrong. So her doctor pulled me to the back, tested her ketones, saw the sugar and everything in her blood, and told me I had to jet to the hospital. So I hopped in my truck. I drove to the hospital, and they told me had I took her home that night, she would have died in her sleep that night. So you see the face you get, how my daughter almost died had I listened to the guy that said she was just unhappy. That's the reaction I get. So that's the story that I tell everybody. So yeah.
Tiffany, I
Story.
know I
Huh?
know you said you were kind of struggling to think about posting on social media and getting started. There's your avenue right there. That's the hook that you need. You could, post that on social media. I think that could get you a lot of potential to kind of start your business.
Yeah,
Thank you. I'm
that's a
definitely going to use it.
that's a great origin story.
For
Yeah.
sure.
I'm going to use it because I know there are other parents who are struggling, and I have a background, and I'm still 6 years, 7 years in, and I'm still struggling. So I have to help other parents. I just feel like I have to help them.
That's dope.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think just hearing you tell your story, that could be on YouTube, that could be on TikTok, that could be on Instagram,
Could be on
Facebook.
the
I
Today
mean,
Show.
yeah, pick one. Yeah,
Yeah.
it could be on a news show.
Yeah.
So just pick one, and go with that. I
You
think,
located in New York?
I'm sorry?
You're located in New York?
Yes, I am South Bronx all the way.
Okay, bet.
yes, man,
Tiffany Buxton.
bacon, egg,
Tiffany,
and
I'm
cheese.
I'm outside on my phone.
Copy.
If you can grab my contact info, there's a gentleman who does a health TV show on TV 360. His name's Jeff Pearson. Shoot me your contact info over email, and I'll hook you guys up because I think that there's an avenue to promote you there.
Thank you. I'm definitely going to take your contact down now.
All right, guys. Kenny, do you have some concluding words for
Oh,
us?
it's about that time.
Mhm.
All right, everybody. So every week in the group, I give a quote based on our theme for the group. Um, so today's quote I actually came up with one on the spot just based on the conversation. Um, so today's quote is social media is where you present your passion and resonate with the heartbeat of your audience. It gives them a chance to understand.
All right, guys. I dropped the Discord link in the chat and I forgot to mention that at the beginning of my during my intro. But we do continue the conversation there a little bit. Same link, same time every week. So if there's any mishaps in the future, you can use the same link. Um, April, I think this was inspired by a couple of different conversations I had over the month of February, March. The discussion topic is going to be on grit. And I believe there's a book, I'll share it in the Discord, that if we'd like to all kind of listen or read together, I think that would be kind of fun. No pressure if you don't, because the conversation will go either way, whether you've read or not. But I think it could be fun. Nate shared the Discord in the chat. Thank you, Nate. That sometimes my link expires, so. Um, all right, guys. See you next week, same time.
Thank you all. Have a good week.
Yeah.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Pleasure to
Good
meet you
night.
guys. Abby, the guys you already know, always a pleasure to see you.
Yeah,
I hope to see you guys next week.
for sure.
Thank you. You
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you all.
Thanks. Take care.
Good night.